Hello everyone, and welcome to another unit comparison. We're moving on past the infantry and support tabs to the Red Dragons Coalition, and today we're taking a look at the Chunmoo 5 from North Korea versus the ZTZ-85-2A from China. Now, these are sort of your mid-range tanks, and they have apparently very different uses, and I'm grateful to have Osama bin Lifton here with us yet again to explain the different uses and roles of these tanks.
All right, so these are both very, very similar in price. However, I do think they excel in very, very different things. So as you can kind of see, the Chunmoo 5, it's definitely better for fighting tanks. You know, that 2 extra armor does go a very, very long way. That being said, the ZDZ, I think, has the edge out in a couple other areas that makes it better for fire support purposes. The 4HE and the stabilizer, I think, are both things you really need in a tank that wants to be aggressive and
I have a question here. I'm sorry. I'm just looking at the rate of fire, and this is something that jumps out to me really often, just as sort of like that newer perspective compared to somebody with your number of games and experience. And the 7 rounds per minute is just, it's something I would look at and go, this is not really that usable, because in my mind I'm thinking, okay, I get the first shot off, and even if I'm first here, the enemy tank might still shoot me again before I have a chance to shoot my second shot.
So that's an excellent question. I think the difference between these two tanks, it comes down to preference. And again, I think it's always more important to pick a unit that fits your play style more than if it really is a meta unit or not. So in the case of these tanks, my play style tends to be, I have smoke, I have a tank, he pops out and shoots, and then when he's reloading, I reverse him back into the cover of smoke.
So with that, then the rate of fire sort of doesn't matter as much. I'm guessing if it's just peek out and shoot and then retreat basically every time.
Exactly. So, and again, the difference between 7 and 8 can make a difference, but it's not as wide as some of the other gaps that we'll see in other tanks, such as 6 to 9 or 7 to 9 even.
Gotcha. So, I guess last question then, which one of these would you take in, I guess, 2 situations? 1, ranked, and then 2, sort of team games?
So for ranked, I actually do take both the 5 and the 85A, the ZDZ and the Chunmoo.
Up or down vetted?
I always take, most of my units in general, I always take up vet, especially for ranked purposes. I think it's generally a good idea. So for ranked, definitely both these up vet. Now for team games, Chunmoo 5 is probably a little bit better, and I would take that down vet, just because there's so much more going on in a team game. These tanks are going to be exposed to a lot more types of fire, just a lot more volume of fire in general,
and a little bit probably of micro lapses when you're trying to look at the larger map and all that chaos, and especially if you're fighting in 2 different flanks, right?
Exactly. So if you are not, obviously you don't have as much micro budget for maybe some of these units. Depends on the game, depends on the map, but
sure.
The Chunmoo 5 is much more forgiving.
Okay, well that's going to be it for our comparison today. Thank you all for hanging around, and we'll see you tomorrow with another one.